guys, welcome back. Drip Coach here, where we don't trust, we verify, and operate with integrity and transparency. Today, coming to you from a McDonald's cafe um, in Asunción, Paraguay. And I'm playing this clip from Altcoin Daily. So it's 2 weeks old, this actual clip, but the markets have continued to dump as of right now, although we still have not gone as low as the previous dump that we had earlier this year at 32% roughly. We're sitting right now at 29. I'm still in the camp that, originally I said, we wouldn't go this low, but that's why I want to play this clip, and then I'll give my thoughts on it. And if you've been following my channel, you already know what my thoughts are on this, but I think it's very telling that no one else actually has explained it aside from Raoul Pal. Everybody else has their theories, but I'm not going to say that they're wrong, but no one is explaining like the debt refi cycle, macro, and all these other things that actually affect crypto. They're all just going off of their own speculation, and they might come to the same conclusion, but for lack of better words, I personally feel, that they're wrong and Raoul has it right. And it's good that there's only a handful like him that believe this, because the others, when the bulk of the market thinks one thing, then it will actually do the opposite, because that's the path of max pain. So right now we're sitting at, what is the fear and greed? Are we at like in the teens, I think? 15. So we were at an all-time low of like 10, depending on what chart you were reading. But let's get into this clip from Altcoin Daily.
Is it over?
Yeah.
Woo.
It's over.
What the hell is going on in crypto right now, and what comes next? Because rate cuts are here, quantitative tightening is coming to an end, meaning quantitative easing is just about to begin. Trump and Xi had a successful meeting. America and China had a successful meeting. But meanwhile, Bitcoin continues to dump while alts bleed to new lows.
I'm tired, boss.
What the hell is going on here? So let me get this straight. No rate cuts, we see a dump. Rate cuts, we see a dump. Tariffs increase, we see a dump. Tariffs decrease, still dump. Good news, dump. No news, dump. Bad news, super dump. Do we really deserve such a bull run? Let me know in the...
I do like that kind of take from whoever that X account belonged to. It's like, no matter what, the markets have dumped, so to speak. And again, this is why I like Raoul Pal's take on it, because he actually explains it the absolute best. It's all tied to liquidity. So let's take a look at this. And again, it's not that the US is the sole driver or like the deciding factor, but they do help shift markets, because remember, they are the world reserve currency. So every other currency, fiat currency, is tied to them. So what they do dictates what other banks can do and how they can borrow money. So it is important to look at that. And right now, this is a perfect example, right? So this is the Fed balance sheet, total assets of Federal Reserve, recent balance sheet trends. You can pull this up, literally just go to federalreserve.gov, monetary policy, right? But I'm going to break this down for you so you can see it in simple terms. So this goes all the way out to July 30th, 2007. This is the balance sheet. So just slowly going up and up and up. And then right here, we kind of have it, see it level off. But what happened here from 4 million all the way up until 7 million? Do you remember what happened here in December 2019 all the way until June 2020? This was COVID. So the balance sheet exploded from 4 trillion all the way up until they stopped all of that stimulus injection to we'll call it 9 trillion. It's 8.937. Like, just call it 9 trillion. So from 4 trillion to 9 trillion, there was $5 trillion added in roughly a 2-year time frame. This is January 13th, 2020, and this is June 13th, 2022. So in 2.5 years, you have $5 trillion being added. Now look what happens after that. It starts to go down. So we've gone from 9 trillion sloshing around to literally all of this falling off, and they've almost sucked out $3 trillion of liquidity since the peak in 2022. And yet Bitcoin has still rallied to all-time highs, and yet it's still hugging, the 90K range. So this is why I said other people they don't get it. They're speaking nonsense. And by no means am I the all-saying guru, all-knowing guru, but listening to Raoul Pal and what he's talking about, it's like, well, you can come out here and, like I say, don't trust, verify. You can see it for yourself. Like, here's the data. If they have been tightening, they have been doing QT, which the Fed recently said they will stop QT come December 1st. That doesn't mean they'll go into easing, but they're going to stop tightening the balance sheet. They're going to stop dragging this down. And which means if you stop QT, then at a minimum, it can flatline. But most likely, especially going into next year with a new Fed chair, they will start injecting new liquidity. And this is what Arthur Hayes has talked about, and Raoul Pal, and Jeff Booth, Larry Lepard, the big print, all these macro economists and people looking at the bigger picture saying they have to juice the system because they can't keep doing this because something is inevitably will break. So it's like, how can you be bearish long term? Yes, it still sucks right now and we don't know where it's going, but you have to look at this and understand that this alone lets you know that the 4-year cycle is no longer in play, and that people saying that the top is in and that it's the exact same 4-year cycle, like, literally have no clue.
Comments below, why do you think this is all happening like this? I'm going to clue you in as to why this is all happening in just a minute, because what we're really trying to answer here is if BlackRock, Wall Street, Michael Saylor, the US government, other nation states, millionaires, billionaires, plus 235 companies are all buying Bitcoin, why is the price going down? And more importantly, thinking months and years down the line, what happens next? So number one, and get this through your head because a lot of people are expecting Bitcoin to top out in the next month or two, but the Bitcoin 4-year cycle is dead. The Bitcoin 4-year cycle, which was supposed to end at the end of 2025, which began in 2022, is dead. 15 billion Bitwise CIO explains the Bitcoin 4-year cycle is dead. This is how you should think about it.
4-year cycle?
Is it over?
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's
whoa.
over.
Okay, hold on. Explain.
Well, I mean, so my view of the 4-year cycle is you have a catalyst that brings new pools of capital in. So 2011, it was the launch of Coinbase. Retail investors could buy Bitcoin, new capital, then leverage builds up and eventually it pops. 2015, the introduction of Ethereum. 2019, DeFi. 2023, it was Grayscale winning its lawsuit in March against the SEC. We're going to get ETFs bringing in capital. The reason I think it's probably not going to play out over 4 years is I think that's a longer inflow of capital than retail hot ball of money, which is the past 3. And then secondly, we have yet another of those catalysts in November, which is the election completely changing the game in terms of institutional adoption. So even if the ETF-driven cycle would have built up, leveraged, and popped and receded, we have this second tidal wave that's just so much bigger than that first one. It's going to overwhelm it. So will there be, pullbacks? We're seeing one now as leverage comes out of the system, of course. But the election was such a sea change that it's like, it doesn't matter. Yes, there may be this natural thing, but it's just going to get bulldozed over. That doesn't mean we've repealed pullbacks. But I think this cycle is going to be much longer than people think. I definitely don't think this pullback is the end. I think 2025 will be a great year. I think 2026 will be a great year. I think 2027 will be a great year. And we'll see about 2028.
Let's take 30 seconds.
So that is, I guess, partly something I could co-sign because the way he described it, and again, by no means am I saying I am smarter than Matt Hogan, but having some kind of catalyst that brings in liquidity, yeah, when you wrap it that way, that would fall into Raoul Pal's framework, right? And that catalyst that Raoul has explained is them rolling the debt, them kicking the can down the road, them finding new ways to inject liquidity. He tied it to specifically like, Ethereum and then the ICOs and all these different things to spark interest in the crypto economy. But I don't think that's it. And again, I'm just regurgitating what Raoul says. It's way bigger than that. And Raoul has shown with his framework and research that it's tied to liquidity. So the liquidity is the biggest driving force. Now you can have these other events within there to soak up that liquidity. So it's like, ICO boom and NFTs, Ethereum, staking, like all these things can be created and that looked like that's the catalyst, but it was behind the scenes that the liquidity was already coming in from the big money printing central banks. Like, so it doesn't matter if you create the best thing in crypto if nobody's coming to buy it. And nobody's coming to buy it, that means they don't have the money to buy it. So the money must come from somewhere. And this is Jack Mahler's thing, is that Bitcoin is the best expression of fiat debasement. Like, it sniffs out this debasement coming in real time before it actually happens. So people are seeing this take place and they're moving ahead of time to position themselves to benefit from it. So again, the reason I say the 4-year cycle is dead is because for this year, at least, like Raoul has stated, it's that they have 5 years to roll the debt. They kicked the debt cycle refi out until 5 years, meaning next year. So it doesn't have anything to do with, in my humble opinion, the elections, like he said, midterms coming up in November. So it's like that will be a catalyst, but the big driver is the debt. And then this is also Arthur Hayes. He's like, yeah, come midterms, come next year, they will start turning on the here's some free shit market funds. Basically, it's like, we need to get reelected. We've kind of tightened everything, and inflation and cost of goods is up, but now here we are at the midterms and we want to get reelected. So here's free shit. So it's like everybody just hands out free shit because they want to get reelected. And that's the only way, because telling people that they're going to have to experience some pain and we're going to cut salaries and cut this and cut that, and this is no longer an expense we'll use. Yeah, people are not going to vote for that. They vote for the thing that benefits them, even though they don't understand in the long term, it's like actually not benefiting them, they're losing. They're just going to look on the surface. It's like, oh, you're giving out stimmy checks? Cool, I'll take one of those. Oh, you're going to drop mortgage rates or a 50-year mortgage so the house is more affordable? Cool, I'll take that, not realizing the house is twice as expensive now and you won't own it ever. But that's what it takes. So either way, I'm on board with what Matt said. I just don't believe that's the reason. But I want to know what you guys think. 4-year cycle dead. Did we reach the top in this current market where we are right now? This is Tuesday, November 18th. Bitcoin is trading at 91K. I think we wicked down to 90. Yeah. Let's zoom in there. So yeah, I woke up, Telegram, and saw Watch Your Guru post that we broke 90. So that was during the middle of the night for me. But it has since bounced back up. But we have broken definitely that bull trend on the daily. We haven't broke it on the weekly, so we needed to confirm this week below. But it looks like it will confirm below this week. So we still got 5 days left. And then based off of Gareth Soloway's thesis, we will go back and test these levels here. Nope. Here we go. Levels in here, 70 to 75-ish. There's a lot of support in this range. So we'll see. I have no idea how long this will carry on, but I do believe it will be short-lived in regards to what we will actually see come next year. So smash that HBO special, help brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below, and until next time, live daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.